Hey guys, we are back working on my 1953 Ford F100. Got the cab up on the rotisserie, and in the last video we started making a floor patch. I've got it spot welded in here using the MIG welder, but today I want to try using the X1 Pro from X Laser Labs, see how it works with wire feed. I've got it basically set up here. Had to get a fresh tank of argon because I was out of it. And the wire feed is all set up. Everything's ready to go. Let's give it a try. See how it works. Thanks for watching. My intention with this is to do what we call a cut and butt, where we cut at a 45-degree angle and we push the floor panel in and we weld it in place. And we really don't need a cut and butt on the bottom of this truck. You're never going to see it from the bottom. This panel is under the seat in the inside of the cab, so you're never going to see it. We don't need to do this. The reason I'm doing this is because it's been a while since I've done one, and I want to practice before we start doing it where it counts, like in cab corners and in body panel repairs. I'm going to put you on a stand. We'll try doing the cut, and then we'll see how well the laser is going to do with welding that in there. I did give a little try, very narrow bead, not a whole lot of heat being put into the metal, and we'll see how it's going to work. Well, Brent from Half-Ass Customs kind of warned us that this was going to be a tricky part to do gap filling with this welder. He seems to have the process down pretty well with his, but I'm not getting it. I think what we're going to do is switch back to the MIG, and that'll give us enough. We'll be able to bridge across and get that tacked in. We'll have to do the conventional, bounce around. Whereas the big advantage to the laser welder is you start welding and you go. It doesn't put enough heat in that it causes any distortion. So let me switch gears, get the MIG welder fired up here, and we'll go at getting this cut and butt done. Well guys, there we go. I'm not going to get too carried away doing the finish welding on it just yet. It is definitely tacked in place, tacked reasonably flush, but as you can see we got a bunch of rot that is still going to have to be excised out of this truck. There's no sense getting too carried away with finish welding this when chances are we're going to replace this and tie it down into this. So that is where we're headed next. Well, not that specific spot, but more rot removal. I'm a little disappointed that I wasn't able to get the laser welder to work quite right, but that is a technique thing. I know watching Brent's review of the X1 laser welder when he first got it, he was complaining about it not doing a good job of filling gaps, but he was very quickly able to develop a technique where he kind of wanders back and forth and he's able to fill in the kerf gaps with no problem. So I'm sure I will get there as well. For now, we'll just stick with using the MIG welder, and we'll learn as we go with that laser welder now that it is hooked up. It certainly does lay a very nice, tiny little bead in here. I like that. So next up on the hit list, I think I want to try and tackle this this footwell. The passenger side footwell has some rust through there that basically just needs a up to, other than this rib, basically just needs a flat panel put in there. So I think we'll give that a try. So I think the first step we need to do here is we need to make a template for how large this repair is going to be. Obviously there's more scale on the inside, not that you guys can see that. Obviously there's a whole bunch more scale on the inside than what we're seeing on the outside. And we want that to be a good solid piece, so I'm probably going to have to come down. I can see a pinhole here, so I'm probably going to have to come down a fair ways. Okay, good to know. And since we're in here, here's the inside of that panel. I'm pretty happy with that, really. I'll get it welded in. That won't be impossible to do. Let's continue. A piece of parchment paper and some bulletin board magnets, or marker board magnets, or whatever you want to call them. That's the top of the transmission. I'm going to say right about there is where we want to cut that rib. Worst case scenario, I could remove this fender brace out of here, but I don't think that that's going to give us much. Let's just lay the template in like that. What I'm doing is reaching around and behind and just kind of feeling where the worst of the pitting stops. Pick up a little more of that, I think. What do you figure? Once I get my head out of the way and you guys can actually see what's going on, does that look like something we can turn into a patch? I think so. Let me cut out, I'll trim this down a little closer to size. Then I will cut off a piece from our cabinet and see if we can start putting this rib in. I think what I'm going to do is leave this part of the patch a little on the long side. Well, this is fine up here, but we'll leave this so the patch comes down to about here, so that we can pound this rib into it, and then we can trim it off afterwards so that it fits on here. That way we're not fighting with the end of this rib. Okay, let me continue on. I'll bring you guys back once we've got a piece of metal that we can kind of lay in here. I figure, guys, still needs some cleanup, and of course needs to be trimmed to size, but that is kind of sort of what I was aiming for. We still got this flange that are left on here. I don't know whether we're going to use that or not. Definitely there's a flange on the original piece, but I don't know whether we need to replace it or not. It actually looks pretty good. So we might just buzz this thing off, you know, right at the edge and just weld it in as a flat patch. But I decided to put the flange on there just to be on the safe side. Yeah, it's a little crooked, but we can straighten that out when we go to put it in, if we use it. Let me get these, you know, get the rest of the trimming done, get the rest of these spot welds ground down, and then we'll try fitting it in place and see what it looks like. Woohoo! Progress! Well guys, here we are, kind of just held in place. We are a little too far that way at the where this rib is, but that's not a bad thing, I don't think. I've looked at the other side of this area. This flange is in really nice shape. I don't see that there's any real reason that it would need to be replaced, other than immediately around the corner. Basically the top side of this area is really crispy on the inside of the truck, and I think our best bet is just to get rid of it. So I think what I'm going to do is lop it off here, lop it off down here, and try and get it buzzed off into the flat cabin floor. There is a bunch of pinholes here that are going to have to get fixed up to the front of the battery box anyways. So we'll have to put a piece in the front here. We may as well do that flange while we're at it. Then we know it's good. This will be a little interesting to get it cut out of there right now, but I don't think I think that's the right way to do it. So let's let me get a grinder fired up here. We'll cut the flange out and hopefully it fits. Looks to me like about the width of that flange will get us so that this lines up with the back side of this rib. The front side I'm not too worried about. I can shape that with a hammer and dolly if we need to adjust it. It looks like it might be just a hair wide, but that is easily adjustable. Getting from here to here is the important part. Well guys, what do you think? That doesn't look too terrible, really. The rib matches up fairly close, a little tappy tap, and that'll come together. We'll have to do a cut and butt on it, of course, because this is in the passenger footwell. I'm probably going to put carpet in this thing, but you know, if I do a good enough job on the sheet metal repairs, I won't have to if I don't want to. Yeah, let's face it, I'm going to insulate this thing and I'm going to put some sort of carpet in it, just because then it's quieter and more enjoyable to drive. But I still want to do a good job of fixing the rust damage. We've still got a little bit of light I can see down through this lip here. It's going to need some extra work where we come down into this flange. But the flange is decent, and that's the main part I'm concerned about. Thanks a lot for stopping by, guys. Greatly appreciate you taking time to watch the video. If you got this far, throw me one of those thumb up things, throw me a like, and if you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you come back and watch some more of my videos. Until next time, thanks for watching.